Yep, I'll copy you on the email. So.
Yeah. Is he sending it for the division?
And for me, pull everything around me, all the branches around me too, because
awesome. We are live on YouTube with Mr. Kyle Freeman. Can you hear me, Kyle?
I can. What's up?
Can you hear me?
I'm Earl Kelly.
I cannot hear you.
Yes. All right. Let me see if I can do this.
We would love to hear you.
Does that work? Hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now.
All right. Beautiful. So good. I just had to change the settings. How we doing, guys?
Cody's dying over there on the couch. Here.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
That's the vision right there.
Boom. So we are excited.
Good.
Time for us. Yeah, super excited. Thank you. I know you're busy as hell. Everyone's getting ready. I mean, JanPro basically is beginning now. So I really thank you for taking time. For those who don't know, Kyle has been a perennial champion in our business year after year. Became a millionaire through being a district manager. Incredible with finances, strategy. Has been crushing JanPro. Trained Cody back in the day, but really, it's been so awesome to see. Like the last couple of Januaries, Kyle's been leaders in the nation, and we just wanted to pick green and have the goods. So we'd love. I know we didn't get to talk much beforehand, but really wanted to get what is your process right now in terms of setting up a kick-ass JanPro? What are the factors that you feel play the biggest role, and then we can open it up for Q&A, but just any guidance that you give. If you were talking to your division right now saying, all right, it's JanPro time. We want to hear the goods from Kyle.
Sure. I actually just finished a cap session, so this is good timing. Perfect. So what I've been sharing with my division about January, I think January is both one of the most challenging months of the year and also one of the easiest months of the year at the same time. It's easy in the sense that like once you have it set up and everybody's ready to kill it, the month kind of almost takes care of itself, and that people are like locked in, ready to go. People that show up to work, in the winter break program they're there to make money. They're there to kill the job, and you just have to like kind of let it like unleash them and let them go. But it takes a lot of work in the preparation process to do the recruiting process the right way and to set it up the right way. So this year I've really kind of honed in on 4 major areas to make sure that January goes off without a hitch, divisionally and also in the pilot. So the first part of January is like your December growth recruit process, meaning like I'm not inclined like Craigslist, web, all that stuff. Like for me, it's your PR program, your social media program, and your campus program. We do send mailers too in the winter break program. I don't know whether that's a thing in the Southwest, but we definitely are sending a few to key areas. But having a locked in plan for exactly how we're going to get all of those growth recruits through the month of December and scheduled for what we call the Big Dance, which is our training seminar on December 26th. I know that sometimes the winter breaks are shorter elsewhere in the country. So I would probably like if I had a shorter winter break and my guys didn't go back, went back in like, like the first week of January or the second week of January or something like that. And that's when they went back to school. My big dance would probably be like, before Christmas. So it would probably be like, the 15th or something like that, the 15th, 16th. And then I would like kind of navigate around Christmas. But for us, it's December 26th, and our entire plan, essentially leading into it, revolves around driving the number of growth recruits for that time frame. The second portion of the plan is our January PR program, and like once we have that core group of people and that big launch to kick off the month, having a rock solid plan for how we're going to drive PRs from that group of individuals. The third part of the month is your candidate sales push. and teeing up all the management candidates. We run 2 PCs for them to kind of set them up for the winter break program. One's in around Thanksgiving when my guys are home for Thanksgiving and whatnot. I run a PC to kind of run through their exact schedule over the winter break so they know exactly what's expected of them, what they should be doing, what they should be focused on. And then we reiterate that plan in December when they get back, and then they kind of jump into helping the process, and they're set up and teed up to like go on a tear sales wise. The fourth thing is just making sure you're on point with your fast start systems in your office. To me, like January is basically like 3 really solid fast start programs back to back to back. So we have like 3 training seminars, big dance, second seminar, third seminar, and then we just hammer the fast start as hard as possible with each one of those things. So a few of the concepts that like I think are important to understand for January is plan for possibilities, don't manage reality. So I'm talking to all of my district managers about nothing less than $100,000 plus new business January. Like, I don't care about like, well, this problem could happen or this issue could happen. Like, who cares? That's like the furthest thing from my mind at this point. What I'm focusing my guys on is what's possible if they do the right things, and let's plan for those possibilities. Later on, we can manage the reality. If you have a problem or something like that, cool. That's why I'm a division manager. Call me with your issue and then we'll fix that. But I'd rather not talk about like a 30K month or something like that. Like, well, that's good. Like it'll be okay if you do 30. Like I'm not going to get excited, get out of bed, like rock campus, like drive PRs to do 30K in January, but I will for, and that's what my guys are digging into. I think you should probably focus on 2 to 3 times, the number of recruits that you have for the month of January for new business. Meaning, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all like you're going to have like a $3,000 PPR from January, but some of your management candidates probably count as new business still, like 10, 15, 20 sales. So like that'll still add into the process. Ivan New had 28 recruits and $119,000 in new. So 2 to 3 times the number of recruits for new business.
Wait, what do you mean?
The other thing is
2 to 3.
What's that?
Yeah, we're not understanding. You're saying 2 to 3 times the number of recruits for CPO?
Yeah, so like new business would be like 2 to 3 times the number of recruits that you have for the month.
Got it.
So launched 40, I would expect to have like $120,000 business January.
Got it.
2K PPR.
2 to 3K PPR.
Yeah, it's not like PPR though, because the candidates' new business come into that. So like you don't have to have like a launch and have a 3K PPR from like the first seminar, because like my management candidates are going to ship like $30,000-$40,000 of it. So you probably still have a $2,000 PPR from the people you launch, but like new business for the month should be way more than that. Another concept that we've been driving a lot, especially with the management candidates, is the concept of winning January. And I want them to define what winning January is for them and what that would look like. We have a trip contest that they can win and things like that are fun. And, so oftentimes people focus way too much energy and attention on like them winning the trip. And it's like, oh, you won the trip, you won January. But that doesn't mean that they won January. That just means that they won the trip. There's a scenario where they could make like next to no money. They have to pay for half the freaking trip. And then like, win the trip, and then they get nothing out of January. I want people going after $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in sales to win January. Like that's what I'm focusing my management candidates a lot on at this point. The other thing is like, just really understanding like, how much January can do to set up your organization and this. The mission for us is like, we're going after $1 million, $1 million January as a division. Pilot's going to break the national record, and we're talking about all kinds of fun stuff to like get that like, I've had Januaries where I've profited $40,000 before as a district manager, not as a DVM, like as a district. And you can go from like nothing to having an explosive January out of nowhere. So Owen Brown last year, he did $90,000 for the summer, $45,000 for the fall, and then $84,000 in new business for January. So we've had people beat their first summer, with their first January before. And it's kind of a fun thing to think about and to dream about a little bit. the idea of like moving all of your candidates forward for the year, them getting to watch interviews, trainings, PCs, PDI, advanced training, AT2, phone jams. They watch with a totally different intentionality than they have before, because they're focused on becoming managers now. So they do all the functions that, with you at the highest level possible. There's like this fire in the office, like a mini summer if you do it right. And, we get some of the most talented people in the world in January, because I think that there's a pool of applicants that we can recruit in January that we don't have access to any other time of year. There's no natural market. They're not looking for summer work all of a sudden. We're not competing with internships. We're not competing with anything else. We're competing with the mall that basically lays them off after the holidays. And like at the point where they're like broke as a joke. They like have no money from freaking school because they spent it all in their first semester, and then they buy Christmas presents and things like that, and then for their family, and they're like, I have absolutely no money right now, and my options are to sit on the couch and hang out with my mom for the rest of my winter break, or I can get a job and like make some great money and get some experience. So even people that we've reached out to in the past and talked to in the past about the job, they're like, yeah, like F it, like, like for 2 weeks, like, all right, like, so people that would never do the job in the entire summer because they are like, I don't know if I would ever want to do it, for a whole summer and commit my summer to it, but for like, for 2 weeks, like, all right. And then we get some laser sharp kids this time of year that can like, really go after it and kill it in an entirely different way. My PSM right now is a perfect example of that. Her best friend worked with me, was a branch. And she just never her friend must have told her to come in for an interview like probably 100 times. So it was just like every day, like come in for an interview. She's like, I don't want to do it for the summer. I don't want to do it for the summer. And then over the winter break, she was like, okay. And then she was a district manager for 2 years, has now been my dom for 2 years, and one of the most integral people in our division. So Syracuse grad, like absolute baller. So anyway, the other thing is like, doing it right for 60 days and 60 nights and just being ready to respond to challenges. We have some unique challenges. I think sometimes people think that like the Northeast region, it's so easy because their winter break's so long. Yeah, it's also -4 degrees. And when we're out advertising on campuses, there's like a blizzard that happens. Like, one of the years we had an ice storm in New Hampshire when I was running my district. We had an ice storm. It covered the entire state of New Hampshire in 1.5 inches of ice. We had no power for a week and a half. So I was running interviews by candlelight and like having my receptionists, work out of Panera because they actually had power from their generator. And we were running one-on-one interviews at tables in Panera to recruit people. We had 2 feet of snow for the big dance. And then we had another 2 feet of snow for the second seminar, which was super exciting. We had a 85% launch for the big dance, by the way, and we had a 90% launch for the second seminar, and we still did $100,000 or more in both of those Januaries. So there's always gonna be challenging moments and things like that. But if you do the right things all the time, I'm talking to my guys about 60 days and 60 nights, November 24th to January 24th, that's when the work is getting done. Because to me, I'm like, well, what's the best you got every day? I'll rest in whatever tropical paradise trip we go on in February. I'm going to rest in Paris. But like, for us, starting the year right and like getting the new business results that we're getting, January is our second biggest new business month of the year last year, only behind July. So for 25% of my new business for the year, you're damn right I'm going to work hard for 60 days. Like, let's go. And I'm not going to apologize for asking my districts to work that hard either, because like, what else are you signed up to do? You signed up to be mediocre and average as a district manager, or you signed up to kick ass as a district manager and build your dreams and build your organization to the highest level. We had 9 assistant managers this summer that came from our January program. Our PRs from January, by the way, throughout the course of the year was $530,000 in sales between the people that launched in January and the PRs that they generated for us throughout the rest of the year. So we are at $780K in new business for the year. 530,000 of it is from the people that we launched in January and their PRs. So I don't know, it was kind of worth working hard for a month or two. So, we've had every number possible work out. I mean, like, it could be the show to training, it could be the PPR, it could be your second seminar, but I'm just able to stay in it like the entire time and stay engaged the entire time, because the moment that you take your foot off the gas, that's when somebody else is going to pass you and you're going to fall behind. So, those are kind of some generalized thoughts and ideas for January. If you want me to dig into any, like what we're doing for the PR programs and systems, like I'm happy to, but like, like Kath said, she wanted me to open it up for like, Q&A and things like that. So I'm happy to spend as much time as you guys would want me to spend. So I'm free for the rest of the day. I'm going to Olean tomorrow, so I'm packing and getting dot I's and crossing T's today. So I got the rest of the day free.
So when you say 60 days, 60 nights, from what it sounds like, because I mean, I've never done a Northeast full program, is the first 30 days is where a lot of the setup and the hardest work is going into getting the recruits and everything ready to go. And then boom, we hit Christmas, and the next 30 days is like the fast start, working with these guys, the PR program in full effect, and really driving that. Is that like the flow? Is that what you're?
Yeah. Like post Thanksgiving is all like recruiting for the big dance on December 26th, and then we launch on December 28th, and then the next 30 days is like us just driving PPR and, you know, creating the next couple seminars. So I tell people, like, you know, if they can launch double digits the first 3 seminars of the year, like it doesn't have to be that huge of a pop. Like, you know, I had a year where I launched in 10, and then we had $120,000 new business January. So, you know, as long as it's like, if you can launch double digits the first 3 seminars of the year, you're going to put yourself in a really, really strong spot to have an exciting month. But yeah, you're right in that, in terms of that flow is like the first, like from the end of Thanksgiving until Christmas is like all hardcore, like growth recruits that we're just fighting to get scheduled for training. So I'm telling my guys, like from November 24th until December 9th, their job is to schedule 10 growth recruits per day for interviews. I don't care if they're remote interviews. I don't care if they're set up for when the people get back from school. I don't care if they're social media, campus, PRs, whatever. People have different ways to win in their territory. Some people like, you know, like Cody, obviously with like, you know, College Station, like, you know, campus would probably be like a significantly heavier part of his plan if he was my district. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, he needs to do social media more. Like, I'd be like, go crush College Station. You know, but you know, for somebody like Owen Brown in my territory who's in Upper Westchester, like it's a very lean territory. He doesn't really have campuses. He's gonna have to focus more on social media and more on his like old PR lists and things along those lines. So I don't necessarily care which one of 3 categories it falls in, as long as they schedule 10 growth recruits on a day-to-day basis from the 24th to the 9th, great. And then we're ramping it up to 20 a day, the 9th, all the way through the 23rd of December to get people set for interviews.
So can you walk through for you guys? So with the growth recruits, so you're just saying you kind of tailor that per territory. Overall, in terms of active like flyering and advertising, what do you guys typically do for that? How much per week? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, we have A days and like, you know, major days that we're hitting the campuses and our cylinder schools as a division. So our biggest school is UConn. It's about 23,000 students. So it's not like massive school, but it's like a decent size. So we have A days scheduled for the 19th and 20th of November. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of December. Like those are kind of our big days where we hit our cylinder schools and major state schools. You know, like a cylinder school day would be like, you know, at UConn we'll put out like 500 posters and 5,000 in hands. We usually have about 10 people helping on that day. And then we have 2 like medium-sized state schools in Southern Connecticut University and Eastern Connecticut University. They're on like kind of different sides of the state. So we split the team and we have like, you know, 6 people go one place, 6 people go the other place. And we'll do about the same thing. So 500 posters and, you know, 5,000 in hands total between those 2 spots. So the 19th is UConn, 20th would be like a split between the 2 schools. The 2nd is a split between the 2 schools. 3rd and 4th is UConn again, where we're doing 500 posters and 5,000 in hands. And then the 5th would be, you know, we have a table and we split it up. The other days are like local blitzes. We do holiday help advertising before Thanksgiving. And then post Thanksgiving, we switch it over to winter break work. So like November 4th through the 8th, we already started with holiday help. And then the 25th through the 25th, like that, the week of the November 25th, we're going to be doing winter break work leading into Thanksgiving. And then we just have like our finals week is the 9th, starts the 9th. So our major advertising week is the week right before finals, when we know everybody's being on campus. And we spend a lot more time on like the PR programs than campus, because we have limited access to a lot of our campuses. We do as much as we can, but program has a lot more to do with like reaching out to old PRs, three-way texts from management candidates, direct messages for social media posts, all that mess.
Can you hear me, bud?
What's up?
I'd love to know more what you're doing specifically with Instagram and Twitter. You know, the Facebook program's pretty hashed up, but what are you doing with Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat?
We're not doing a thing with Instagram. We're doing everything on Facebook and direct messages, whatever medium my guys are. I'm not saying like it's like Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook. I don't really care which form they use. They're direct messaging on one of them. So we're doing some direct messages with Snapchat, but like whatever social media platform my guys are more excited about using, they'll just use as we send direct messages. We're not doing anything like, blow up networks and like massive posts, except for Sundays. We're doing Sunday social media posts. Some of my guys are going to do 2 a week. They'll do one on Sunday and one on Thursday. Well, they'll do like a general post, like paycheck post, or like a advertisement post. I don't care whether they do it on social, like Facebook,
On
Instagram.
Social post, what's your follow up from there? So you do the social
What's that?
Do you have like a blitz on Sunday around their social post, or are you just kind of having them schedule the interviews for you, or what's
Yeah. It's not like a massive blitz. It's just like they put the post up and then it goes to a Google form and then we just clear out the Google.
Cool. So do you have like callers and stuff to get the Google? Like how many? I guess.
Yeah, it's mostly the assistant manager staff and the pilot and in our offices. We have 1 or 2 paid callers for most offices right now that are doing it. They probably won't be on Sunday. We're just going to clear those out on Monday.
Got it. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm here. Do you know the record for JanPro?
For January, like sales wise, yeah, Justin Donald 306.
New business?
New business is Rich Boss Bali at 242. Total business is Justin Donald at 306. We're going to smash both of those really hard this year. We should have broke the national record last year. We just sucked in the 3rd and 4th seminars. We launched 41 in the first seminar and then 14 in the second seminar and then 2 and then 1. And that effed us. So we did 243 last year, total biz and 165 new. But if we had double digit launches for those last 2, we would have crushed it. But we have 30 management candidates going into it this year, which I think my 30 candidates will probably sell 200 grand by themselves. And then we'll launch more. So we're going for 450 this year for January. So
awesome. Can you walk me through your plan from the day that you launched to your second class?
The day that I launched to when?
So that your big dance class.
Mm-hmm.
Through the back end of like, all right, so you're collecting PRs that day. When are you calling them? When are you scheduling them?
Sure.
How are you setting up the second seminar? Like, what's the process from first to second seminar for JanPro?
Gotcha. So what we're doing on that day is we're going to hold about 3,000 names to send to Office Conveyor. I don't know whether you guys are on Office Conveyor or not, but if I wasn't, I would just be sending them. We would do like a caller or something like that. But we have Office Conveyor in the office, so we're gonna split the group into 3 groups. So we're gonna start the PR talk on day 3 on the 28th. I'm gonna start it at 11, so I'll be done by noon. My PSM is gonna take the lists and scrub them, manage dupes. We're gonna split the list into 3 groups. So we have A, B, and C list. The C list is going to go directly to TTS right away, so we get them immediately into the system. The B list we're gonna call through Office Conveyor, send an interest text in Office Conveyor, and then we're gonna run through about 1,500 of those on that Saturday the 28th. We have like 10 callers that are going to help with that whole process. That'll be in there, mostly management candidates and my assistant managers, PSM, everybody that's going to be there for that day. So we have 10 people in the back room calling. We're going to do the B list, which would be kind of like my mid-tier guys and solid people, mostly because of the timing of the interviews. we have like Sunday interviews the next day, which I think are going to be less efficient than the Monday interviews that we're going to schedule the A-list people for. So the following day, we have the same 10 people back in the office. It's going to be from 12 to 7 p.m. is the PR shift with 10 people calling. And it'll be B-list on the 28th from 12 to 7, A-list on the 29th from 12 to 7. And then all of our PRs will be handled by then. And we have 3 interviews on the Sunday, 3 interviews on the Monday, and then 2 interviews on New Year's Eve, and then 1 interview on New Year's Day.
And then when's your next training?
2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Okay, so the 29th, that Sunday, you're doing 3 interviews. You're doing 3 interviews on Monday, the 30th. The 31st, you guys have 2 interviews on.
Yep.
What
Those
time
are
do you-
earlier in the day, like 10:45 and like 1:15. And then we do PCs all day that day. The pilot.
And then typically on the 1st, when is your interview on the 1st?
We do it at like around noon.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool. How many do you guys typically recruit that day?
On the 1st, 5 to
Well, if you think about it, like, yeah, they're going to see their family. I have a job interview tomorrow, Mom. Like, yeah, New Year's resolution.
Yeah. I mean, they're not doing anything. I just want to make sure people have time to recuperate before they come in for my for my interview, which is why it's at noon. So, we've had a couple shining stars come in on New Year's Day. They're great. Whew, they're like breathing heavy. You're like, all right. Rough night last night, champ. All right. Oh, your friend's my top rep from the training seminar that just did 7K in their first weekend? Cool. You don't have to interview, bro. You're on the team. Just go home. Get some.
You showed up hungover. You're it.
Welcome aboard. You're my guy.
Walk me through this. This is a big question for me. Is like, okay, so what are your guys doing like with their personal sales? Like, are you having them list the 27th, the 26th, and sell the 27th, 28th?
I think that depends on their break. Most of our guys, they have a longer break. So the management candidates, for the most part, in our office are actually watching training, and I'm helping them like learn the training seminar on the 26th, 27th, 28th. They're helping with the training, and then we don't have them really start shipping until the 4th. So I have a major phone jam for all of them on the 2nd and 3rd. It goes 9 to noon and then 3:30 to 8:30 both days. And we treat it like SC2 push kind of like level of them getting after selling. That's where the conversation of like winning January versus winning the trip comes from. Like Earl's very generous with like giving them trip, like, you know, credit for the trip. Like if they get a PR, you know, they get $1,000 credit towards the trip, and then they have to sell like 7K in like 12 days or something like that, but they get $1,000 credit for a PR. So like some of them have like 3 PRs in the training seminar, so they have to sell like 4K, and they could get trip credit for Olean too. So like a lot of my guys have $1,000 trip credit from their Olean push. So I'm gonna have some guys that have like $4,000 credit and have to sell 3K to win the freaking trip, and I will literally kill them if they only sell 3K for the month. It's just like, you know, so you sold $3,000, you made $900 over your winter break, paid 600 of it to go on the trip. So you profited $300 for the whole winter break. Like, and you're going to be like, woo, I won January. That's lame as hell. What you can do is sell $20,000 for the winter break. You know, make $6,000. Like, who cares what you have to pay for the trip? And then we'll go celebrate together in whatever tropical paradise exists. But one of the strategies I have every year is like, I'm looking for like a baller, like leader type person from each one of the groups that I have in my organization. Somebody to go hard and set the pace for each group. So like, which one of my CSPs is going to ball out and go big? You know, $20,000 plus January. Which one of my management candidates is going to ball out and go big? I have like 2 or 3 of them this year that I think are going to battle. Ferrugio is #1 for the Silver Cup right now. Like, that kid's an animal. He sold 25K last January. He's going for 30 this January. And then Elliott will be back for January. He'll probably sell 10, 15K. And then Jacob Smith like sold 60K for the summer. He'll probably sell another 20 for January. But I'm having conversations with each one of them individually, like, you got to go big. Like, one person from the first seminar, like, big dance that I'm looking to get to like $15,000 to $25,000 plus. And then a person from the second seminar that I'm looking to go for $15,000 to $20,000 plus. So, if I have like 4 people that are doing 15K to 20K, just from those 4, you're at $60,000 to $80,000 in sales for the month. And then they pull everybody else along with them as well. So targeting those like key guys is big. And then just having a program, like we have a divisional program for like the strip contest. Like like nobody deviates. Everybody's in lockstep. Like there's no like management candidates need to have 100 to 200 plus names to call by the second. Like, how many of you guys have? If they have less than that, sit them in the freaking office until they have that list set up. Like, they have to schedule all the demos that they want for the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Need to be set up by by the time their head hits the pillow on January 3rd. Every demo that they could possibly book for the 4th, 5th, and 6th is booked up and ready to go. Like, like they have their top 50 list and target list of people that they're going to reach out to first. There's efficiently as possible with the number of people that they're going to set up demos with and how much they're going to sell on those demos. Like it's just a system and a program. Like that we have a schedule and a calendar for every one of them that we hand out at the division meeting. Like, here you go. Like, so it's like, this is what you're doing. This is exactly how you're doing it. Everyone in the division speaking the same language. There's 100% synergy. I'm running conference calls for this, by the way, like every single day, the same way I do for SC2 Push. Like it's in some ways for me, it's bigger than SC2 Push because the way I'm looking at it is that any one of these kids that hits the trip and they win the January trip, they're locked in for the summer. Like the odds of me like taking some kid to Jamaica and then like partying their ass off with 100 people in Jamaica and then losing that kid going into the summer after they made like $4,000 over their winter break and like, went on a tropical paradise trip. Like how do you lose that kid? Like it's impossible. So like my mission, I'm trying to get 50 people from the division to win this freaking trip. We had 28 last year from the division, but like our goal is 50 this year. And I told Earl, like, if you don't change the levels for this strip contest, my division is single-handedly going to break the region budget. By February, you're going to have no money left. Talk to Al. Get more money.
God.
So.
See if anybody else has questions.
Anyone else have questions?
I love your question.
Hey.
Real quick, advertising, how many do you want to get out in the next month? What's your focus as far as?
Yeah, and actually,
Getting out.
Beyond the schools, like non-campus active, how much of are you guys doing? I mean, you got a big fucking goal.
Yeah.
How we're getting the recruits set for that.
Non-campus advertising. We have 8,500 old PR texts that we're going to send, 1,500 three-way texts with our management candidates PR lists. We're doing about 6,000 direct messages and 100 to 200 social media posts. And then for the second seminar, we're going to schedule 250 PRs for the second seminar. We sent 10,000 mailers. And then we'll put out something like 25,000 pieces of media on campus.
25,000
Yeah.
off campus. And then what do you guys
on campus, but like we don't do off campus advertising.
Okay, so you don't do much off campus advertising or at all?
No, there's rather large fines for that in Connecticut. So.
Okay, because I know some of the Northeast guys to be a huge thing, and like Gamboa would do like Black Friday, 20,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish that would be great. It would be over 100,000 if we wouldn't get arrested and fine $10,000 for like each sign we have up. So that would be super exciting. It's something like that. It's like $1,000 per sign, and like the littering charge or whatever that they have is like $100 per incident or something. It's something ridiculous. So.
Was they used to in New Hampshire? Did you used to do that? I mean,
oh yeah, New Hampshire was awesome. We put out like we put out 100,000 pieces of media in one campaign before in New Hampshire. So
yeah,
that was fun. Yeah, I had 21 people helping me advertise on Black Friday. We hit 3 malls a day, 3 times, 36,000 flyers in one day. Giddy up. Those are the days, man.
I remember those days.
Super fun. But yeah, I mean, most of it's stemming from like the PR work, and like that's really our major focus. Last year, that was the biggest proponent of us crushing January, I think, was us digging into the old PR list. We just took every like reasonably sharp or talented person that I would want to replicate in any way, off of the old PR lists from Vector Live. We just did the like CSV list and downloaded them onto like a spreadsheet, and then just threw them. We actually physically texted them all last year. Now they're on Office Conveyor, which makes me sing the praises of whoever created Office Conveyor, because I literally had blisters on my thumbs last year from the number of text messages that I sent using the burner app. it was great. I was like, I can feel my thumbs. This is terrible. We legit probably sent 10,000 text messages by hand last year. So
What's your how many do you want to have set for the big dance in your background?
big dance 250 is the goal. 250 set for the big dance, 175 launched. Second seminar 60 set, 30 show, 20 launch, and then 30 set for the third seminar, 30 set for the fourth seminar, and then 15 in and 10 out, both of those. So we're looking to launch about 115 for the campaign. 245 new and 200 205 FSM. 450.
Thank you.
Candidate cycles. Are you doing anything where you're having your candidates run trainings or cycles or anything like that during this time period?
I probably should, but no. These seminars are too valuable for me to like give away to like candidates. I'm like, there's my Dom isn't even running them. Like, so she might run the third seminar. We haven't decided on that, but like I'm 100% running the big dance, the second seminar, no question about it. The only scenario where I can see that happening is if there's like a kid that like, is sharp and, he's like, I'm going away to school on the 7th. I want to work. I might be like, hey, you run training for this kid on like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, like, and give him an opportunity to run like a one-on-one. But like, there's no way. Like, I would never trust these seminars to like any other human being. The fact that I'm even letting my Dom do it is like, is nerve-wracking for me. She's nasty as hell, by the way. Like, was a district for 2 years. She ran all the training seminars this summer. Like, she had like her training productivity averages are like $1,000 first weekend. Like, she's good, like really good. And I'm like, I'm running it. Like, so like,
Yeah.
so it's possible she runs the third and fourth seminar. But first and second seminar, 100% of the time I'm going to run. I have a couple guys that have like really long breaks. So like I might let, like Callum's going to be a branch this summer. So like he goes to University of Delaware. They don't go back until like February 7th or something like that. Like literally February 7th. So I was just like, he's going to be like around here with nothing to do like, for a long time. And I told him if he doesn't sell 20K for the break, I'm like, you're not going branch. Cause like you have a month and a half to work. So you probably have easier time selling then than he does in June, because none of his friends will be here. So there's nothing else to do. But under that situation, like most of the time I have them run their cycles over spring break, more so than I do over winter break, just because our winter break's so valuable.
Are you having them do anything to kind of spruce up their leads a little bit, like the guys that haven't been selling for 3 or 4 months? Are you having them do anything now to kind of like warm up?
Yeah, we have an office productivity meeting where I run through the plan for January. For us, that is going to be on. What do we got? That meeting is on the 20. Where the hell is it? 21st. Yeah, so it's on the 21st of December when everybody's back from school. We get everybody in there, and it's kind of like a 3-hour powwow in the office where we're like, all right, this is the plan. All right, when I introduce you in training, like, what are you going to say? 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 Here's how we're going to manage the larger group. Here's how so like, I just kind of walk them through all the scenarios. And then part of that is like, we re-hit sales and help them build their names list for the candidate sales push contest. So I have like kind of a chicken list talk for them that I do during that time frame. We brainstorm another like, a big list for them to call. And then I do like almost like a quick, a sales portion of advanced training kind of thing. Like, let's walk through sharing goals. Let's walk through this. Let's walk through that. Like, so it's like a demo walkthrough to get them refreshed. And then we have our division meeting on the 6th that I have all the January 6th. I have all the management candidates come to that, and I do a breakout, which is like a advanced training breakout for the second seminar group, because that basically serves as their advanced training. So I run their advanced training and I let the district managers and the management candidates watch. So they're like learning how to run AT, but I do like an advanced training on steroids, for them, and like a little bit of extra stuff on selling sets, thinking bigger, package deals, like that type of stuff. And I'm doing it more for the management candidates to like reteach them after they've been out selling for their first couple of days, meeting on the 6th. And like some of them have absolutely smashed it. And a lot of people that like you're at $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 in sales by that time frame, and some people are going to fall on their face. But I use that breakout to kind of catch the phoning stuff or any of that. Like that's the division meeting teaches that stuff. So like our division meeting is, then I do that breakout, and then the people that are like not in that breakout, like there's like 7 of them. So my guys, it's more like a CSP meeting kind of thing, because most people are with me in that group. They're either new or
How far are your offices? Do you have any like 3 or 4 hours away or anything like that?
Not really. Because like, typically our teams are like pretty big. Like, we might have 250 people at that division.
Yeah. Do y'all do it like a conference, or do y'all do it like?
No, it's like a conference. We have it at a hotel, like, done up, like trophies, everything. It's like a spectacle. It's actually my favorite division meeting of the year. I like it better than the one in July. So blasty.
It's just fucking blasting.
Yeah, it's fun because Aaron Winter every year is like, we're gonna beat the Pilot, we're gonna beat the Pilot, and then we absolutely smash them. It's super fun. Sometimes he thinks he has us because like the reports haven't come out yet. And it's like, he's like, oh, we might have him. He almost got us one year. He blew it up, and like he had like a 60K week the second year. And then one of my management candidates had a $22,000 order. And he was like, come on. That was awesome. We beat him by like 10K. That's the closest anybody's ever come to beating the Pilot ever at any division meeting ever.
Yeah.
Since 2015. It's been great. It's getting ridiculous. I'm gonna stop ordering trophies because I just give them to myself all the time.
Hey, I'm John, by the way. Thank you, by the way, for speaking. Really
Of course.
I was looking at quantums earlier, and you launched basically the same amount in 17th and 19th, but you did like 80 more. Okay, like what was the biggest like difference between 17th and 19th for you?
17 and 19 for New Biz.
Yeah, because you launched, I think I'm remembering this, like you launched 58, yeah, but one's 90.
I think probably some of it is just being more familiar with my territory. Second was it was the candidate PRs. We were just much more adamant about getting the right PRs and training this past year than we ever have been. We were really aggressive with candidate PRs and 3-way texts, and then old PR lists. The first seminar we launched, this year, it was probably 30 PRs in the first seminar, 8 campus, 2 mailers. We literally, if we didn't do the PR program, campus or mailers or anything like that for this January, we would have launched 2 people. We literally had 2 from Craigslist or web. If you pull up the ad stats, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not even, I'm not even exaggerating. It was literally 2. So I think it was just being really aggressive with candidate PRs and really aggressive with like the old PR lists that we had from key areas and key people. That just changed the dynamic. Like, you know how sometimes in trainings, like you're like, oh, there's like the back row, and like these guys are like, like there was none of that. It was like we had 51 show to day one, and for the big dance, and like 49 of them were like studs. So it was just like, we didn't spend any time recruiting from like networks or situations or areas that we were not excited about having people. And we're going to do, it'll be more disproportionate this year. Like the pool of people that we're going to pull from right now are like ridiculous. I'll probably have 3 rows of prep school kids.
And then last one, we talked to Buddy Boyd the other day, and he says he actually has his candidates or the PR sit in training with their friend they brought it, like their PR. Like, thoughts on that? Have you ever implemented that before?
Did you say the candidates sit in training with their friend that they PR'd? I don't see why that would be bad. I mean, I've never done that. I have the candidates there. We won't have room this year. So, maybe we will. I don't know. Like, we'll have to find a spot that's close enough to the office. There's not really a hotel close enough to the office that I think would fit 130 comfortably. So I'd have to think about that, but I don't think it would hurt or help. I don't think it like massively changes the results for the person. It might help with your launch percentage because the person that they're sitting with the entire time is like positive and cool and supportive. It could also backfire where the person's like sitting next to them the entire time and they're just like, so is this what I should be doing? And they're like dicking around half of the training. So I'm having the candidates there and I have them share stuff, but I don't have them sit in training with their friend. Yeah. I do a little bit of an extended intro, and I like introduce the management candidate class, as in the intro, and I have them share like, their name, like the school that they go to, favorite part of Vector, and then they give them one tip. And then PSM, and then I let my PSM talk a little bit longer. She can say whatever she wants.
When do you guys go back to school in January?
13th for most of them. And then some of them the next week.
Got it. So that's when we go back. Yep, it's the same. And you're not running anything earlier in December. You're just running right after Christmas.
Yep. I know there's different schools of thought. I know Trembler's planning on running an earlier one. We're not. I think a lot of that depends on the recruiting momentum that you currently have. So if we were like smashing it with recruiting right now, and we had all these like PR chains going, and we were like like rolling right now, I might think about it more, but we're just not. So I know that's why Trevor's doing it, because he like feels like he has like his team and his office already have momentum and they could launch effectively in like on the 15th or something like that. I think we would be cannibalizing our winter break program to like have an extra seminar on the 15th. And then the challenge I see there is you then have to navigate 2 holidays group, which makes it more challenging. So like navigating people all the way through Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then navigating people through New Year's and New Year's Day, like it just adds a lot of complexity to the plan that I honestly didn't have time to think through as well as I wanted to before I made that decision. But we've always done really well with the 26th, so I'm like, I'm not going to change what's working. Like if we sucked last year, maybe I'd be like, all right, I'll switch it, but I'm nervous to mess with it.
Sounds good. Any other questions before we close up?
Thank you.
My pleasure. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for any of you guys.
Appreciate it a ton. I'll probably be hitting you back up with some other little things, but great stuff. Thank you so much.
Sure. My pleasure. Kath, if you want me to send you I have the pilot plan and the calendars and everything like that. Over to you too.
Would love an email with that.
Sure.
So I'll text you my email. I don't know if you have it, goldcoastspectre@gmail, but I'll send it to you right now.
All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a beautiful rest of the day, guys. Good luck. Have a great January.
All right,
Dude,
see
thank you.
ya.
Yeah.